This is my review on the iPhone 15 Pro 8 months later. What do I think about this phone? Has this model changed the way I used iPhones? Did owning another device change the way I used iPhones and Apple products altogether? We'll just have to find out. Let's get started. So I've been really using this phone for a while. It's pretty amazing. This is my first non plus size model iPhone. I haven't used a phone smaller since I guess the iPhone like 5 or 6 whenever my parents had it. Cause I grew up using as a kid you get a tablet, which I had as a kid in middle school, and that went from that to owning a Surface Pro, then a OnePlus 3, 5G, the N200, the iPhone XS, 11 Pro Max, and 12 Pro Max phones, and then owning iPads and all of these other devices, including the MacBook Pro. So I've been using bigger devices. So this is my first personal device that is really small. I mean, for my day-to-day usage, I also prefer this size over the bigger size iPhones. So let's break this down. Let's start with, I think, usually the bigger upgrade, which is usually the cameras now these days on the new iPhone 15, on the new iPhones. Usually now at this point it's just having a better camera. So coming from a 12 Pro Max to the 15 Pro, has it changed? Having a has is using a smaller size iPhone Pro affect the way that the camera's using? How does that work? So just from my usage, and I'm not really gonna go into like the the geek specifications. I mean, every iPhone since the 6S had 4K. I think not till the 8/10 had the 4K 60. The iPhone 12 or 13 had the the cinematic video mode. The iPhone 7 had introduced portrait mode, and a lot of other smartphones do the same functionality. So in terms of like improvements on the camera, do I see a big upgrade? Yes, in only I was saying more in the video department, but in certain photos with lighting and everything, I do get a slightly better result. But just in an overall day-to-day usage, it looks the same. I'm not gonna lie, but you can see some significant upgrade, um, in terms of the camera quality. As a photographer, there's times where I actually don't bring my mirrorless camera. I end up bringing this bad boy around with me just because it is easier to just carry this around than a mirrorless camera. I'm surprised with the shots I get, not just in photography but also in videography. Here's actually some of the photos and videos I was able to capture using this bad boy.
I could go for a campfire ice cream
Now, a phone like this, I mean, just viewing content on this, the display quality, it's pretty good. Like the details you're able to get with this, it's amazing. And it's so good that when I edit, I'm able to get every single detail and just viewing normal content. I have been watching less and less on my TV and more on my on my phone, and just based on the quality, it's pretty cool. Especially I mean, I'm getting a big size display on a smaller, well, it's not small, it's a normal size body. I think it's a perfect size for everyone to have. The quality is amazing. The overall contrast and coloring is amazing. Amazing. One complaint I really do have is kind of like the brightness. Now, even though the display is from Samsung, it is like an Apple made variant version of the Samsung display. It's not like Samsung's own display. So anytime I'm using navigation or I'm out and about needing to read text messages, um, or anything important or looking at the map, now it is a case where even on the max brightness, I'm not able to view stuff. Uh, and it's a thing where like I went through two screen protectors. I'm on my second one just because when I first got the phone, I actually did scratch it up a bit. It fell off my pocket onto the tiles. So I got a bit scratched up. So I had put a screen protector on it. But then I realized that I assumed maybe it was just the screen protector. I wasn't able to see the display. So I ripped out the screen protector and started using the phone like that without a screen protector. And it was really the screen, the display. It wasn't able to get bright enough for me to use it outdoors. So yeah. Now, in terms of the color, it is amazing. So in my day-to-day uses, I mean, the iPhone 15, I would say, does not have a great battery life compared to like the standard 15 and 15 Plus, and it's just weird. Now, those iPhones do have a lower, like a year older chip, but it's a weird case. The 14 and 14 Plus had better battery lives than the Pro and Pro Max, even though those were using the iPhone 13 chips. But then the Pro and Pro Max did not have a great battery life compared to the cheap alternative. But now when it comes to, the standard 15, 15 Plus, they're using the Pro chips from the previous generation. Now you would assume the battery life will be the same as the Pro models of the last generation. It's weird. It's a better battery life, and compared to the Pro and Pro Max, they have a decent battery life, by which they honestly like I mentioned, because these are Pro devices. Pro, you're paying a lot more to get better features. I would at least make the back all flesh so that you can remove the camera hump, meaning that you also have more space to put in a bigger battery capacity in a way. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Now, how's it like in terms of holding the device using one hand? Because even bigger phones, certain phones um, with a bigger size, I'm able to use it sort of with one hand. I know with a lot of Android devices, some of them are don't have a smaller alternative. I think Apple's the best one. The closest runner-up is Samsung, but in terms of just holding the device with one hand, I think Android does it better in terms of holding their bigger size phones with one hand compared to Apple's Max or Plus size phone. This, I mean, in terms since I did get the smaller model, it is easier for me to use it with one hand, but I still didn't have to compromise on the bigger display. And using that dynamic island, this is my first iPhone with the dynamic island. It's pretty helpful. Now, one thing is because it is a little bit more, I guess, down below than a notch. It is cut into some contents. Let me play one. with the phone with the dynamic island, you can see it does cut into the video a little bit if it's a full size video, but it doesn't really affect it that much. With Notch, it was a little bit further up on the display, so it was a bit better in that sense. Honestly, just saying. Now, what do I think of the action button on this iPhone? What do you mean action button? Well, Apple actually decided to remove on for the Pro and Pro Max the mute switch, which they've had since the first generation of iPhone, and the only other phone company that has been doing that is OnePlus himself. But I feel like OnePlus kind of integrates it better in terms of the functionality of it, while Apple is more simple. But what do I think of the action button on this? Now with the added Type C, I'm able to honestly use the same charger for my OnePlus device. I'm able to use the same Type C for my MacBook, for my Marshall's headphones, my Nintendo Switch. Honestly, even for the iPads, I can use Type C. It is so cool, honestly. If you have the 15 Pro or Pro Max, it's USB C 3.2 or something like that, where you get a better transfer speed of data. So if you're transferring data back and forth, it is better. But honestly, it's only for the real professionals, and I'm pretty sure those professional people that need that specific USB-C 3.2 or whatever already have the high-end gears, and they need it on those devices more than the iPhone. Um, USB-C 2.0 still works. My Android phones were using 2.0 speeds. Um, Even my older Nexus device, tablet, and my Samsung tablet use micro USB 2.0 speeds. And I was transferring data back and left and right, and music and movies and whatnot. So it was fine. I mean, you don't need the high end one, and it's just because really, you just need the Type C to be more universal anyway. So that's pretty cool. Now with A17 Bionic chip or whatever it is, in terms of editing and playing games and whatnot, it works as well as, from my experience, as well as any other iPhones I've used in the past. Nothing too major that I've seen. So yeah. So I had mentioned earlier I was using the iPhone caseless for a while until last month in June, where I decided to use this case. Overall, using this case with the MagSafe wallet, I think the whole setup is fine. Um, Even without the case, I'm able to hold the phone properly without ever dropping it or anything. And then with the case on, a little bit more grip, a little bit more protective screen protector. Obviously, you need it. Even if you're rocking the phone cases, I think you still need a screen protector because it does get really deep scratches, even from a low point on a tile floor. The glass is not durable. Glass is glass, and it's gonna break no matter what. So a case maybe, but most importantly, screen protector. MagSafe wallet on this is a handy feature, but the new, I guess, material for the iPhone 15 Pro, since they are replacing leather and they're being eco-friendly, it's fine. It does get dirty really easily, but overall, I think in terms of the texture and the grip, it's pretty cool. Me, the cool thing is I have a smaller phone, don't have a big one, so it is easier for me to manage everything on a smaller device. But it's still a big device. But I think the biggest thing for the 15 lineup that I enjoy the most is just really the Type C port and the action button. But I don't really use that as much. I would honestly love to see them fix up the brightness issue, the I guess also the battery issue, the battery life issue. Honestly, it's not that great. And I mean, same goes for Android. Honestly, both Android and Apple have this issue. And then on top of that, just the overheating issue. Another thing is it, they need I like a more refreshed UI. Kind of like from the iOS 6 to iOS 7. They should do something like that. And just an overall new design. I would say you can change it up a bit. I mean, Talos of Tech, a favorite YouTuber of mine who does tech videos, and he's a big Apple sheep. He talked about having a visor type stuff just like the Google Pixel. I don't mind doing that, or like since they are using the two cameras for the Vision Pro, like this one and that one, in order to get the whole optical effect video for the whole stereoscopic video for the Vision Pro. I don't mind if they do the Samsung route where all three cameras are like this and they have a cool new design and more of a sharp edge and whatnot, something like that. Kind of more of a refreshed design to make it more fun. I don't mind. And one other thing, but it's more of an iOS thing. They've been doing this for a while at this point. The control center, they gotta make it. The control center on iOS 7 and 8 was so much better. This, I understand, because you can't swipe from up. It's whatever, but at the same time, there's a better way to implement it, and just this style of control center is like that good. It's really disorganized. The older version was so much better in the way they organized everything. So yeah. So that's it. Thank you for watching this content in this video. As always, please stay tuned for more videos. Share this video with everyone else. Give it a thumbs up. Share and hit the subscribe button to get, and also hit the notification bell icon to stay notified for more videos. Thank you and stay safe.